Hi, welcome to Outlier Live. So, Apple has set up their event on September 12th. Uh, Many of us are excited about this new iPhone 15, and then there are many of us who are talking about what impact it will have on the Apple stock. They are closely watching all these analysts, including myself. I'm closely watching this event just to see where it will take the Apple share in coming months. So let's first talk about this event. I personally have not upgraded my iPhone in last couple of years. So there was this recent survey that happened where almost 45% of Americans between age 18 to 24 they buy a new iPhone in less than 2 years. So there are around 13% of people who doesn't do that many upgrades. So all in all, the on an average, if you think about it, majority of the users they upgrade their iPhones in around 2 years. I haven't upgraded myself in last 3 years, and actually I am looking to upgrade my iPhone sometime this year for some various reasons. So let me go into what to expect in this event. So first and foremost, again, uh, we are expecting that iPhone 15 will be released, and I am kind of curious about this invite that Apple sent, and it has this logo where you see this graphic which is like disintegrating and showing this blue and sand colored. So I don't know what to make out of it, but what I am thinking in terms of features and in terms of capabilities, Apple will focus on AI capabilities, in my opinion, because of all of that AI hype that is going on. You may see some upgrades in the camera in some of those apps that are there. You may see some new apps that Apple may introduce, showcasing their generative AI, features. So that is one thing I'm looking forward to. And second thing that is rumored, and I think the company also confirmed, they are going to introduce a USB-C charging port. It will replace the Apple's the current charging port, which is Lightning standard. Personally, I was tired of buying new chargers every 3 months, 5 months, because after some time it will just stop working. And every time you see an upgrade, you have to buy these new chargers. So I'm glad that they are changing to this standard USB-C standard, which I am hoping that they will introduce all across the board. Means few years ago, European Union introduced a bill. They were forcing Apple to choose this USB standard, and I think what happened was Apple made a decision that if they are forced to choose this standard for European customers, it might be good idea to introduce the same standard all across the board. So I think they have already confirmed that they are going with this USB-C charging port, which is great. I personally love it. So let's talk about how Apple is doing, the sales are doing, with most recent uh, earning release which happened probably around a month ago. We saw that iPhone sales were down. Okay, I was reading somewhere that there are almost 250 million plus iPhone users. They have not upgraded their iPhones in past like 2 3 years. So with this release, there may be a possibility majority of their 1 billion plus user base that Apple has that use iPhone, they may upgrade to this new version. So what will happen is you may see some nudge, some push in the iPhone sales. So iPhone sales may go up in coming quarter, in coming by the end of this year. You may start seeing this trajectory changing for the iPhone sales. But one of the most important and one of the most exciting thing I always look for is the alternate revenue stream apart from hardware. I mean, personally, I don't like hardware because you spend a lot of money, and you have to keep on upgrading it. But in case of Apple, it's a different story. They have managed it pretty well. But one thing that I'm very very excited about for Apple is their services business, which include Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Care, Fitness Plus, and so on. So services business grew 8% year over year, which is great. The segment had only grew 5.5% compared to the same quarter in 2021. So what does that mean? That it is growing. So which is a very very good sign for Apple, because now their customers, people who have iPhones, they are getting hooked. They are getting hooked to these services. So they are paying a yearly fee to Apple. So that revenue stream, in my opinion, it is number one, it's growing, it's sticky, and it will keep the customers with Apple. So that is a good news, in my opinion. So let's talk about how a company, Apple or any company, rewards its shareholders. So there are many ways actually. So one of the way is they pay dividends, right? So you may have seen many companies, they pay dividend, which is great. You always look for companies which pay dividend. But there is another way they can benefit their shareholders. It is by stock buybacks. And Apple is one of the company that has spent over $600 billion in stock buybacks in last decade. So which is a good news. So in my opinion, Apple is doing really really good. And with the recent pullback that happened in month of August, I think Apple is ready to change direction, in my opinion, especially with iPhone sales, iPhone 15 coming up, and iPhone sales may turn that trajectory. The services business is doing good. You have AirPods, which are just a company on its own. Like it just sells so many AirPods. So which is great. But all in all, their expansion to India, and even though there are some issues, geopolitical issues that I'm seeing in China and all of the and few other places, but I think Apple is going to do really really good. So let's quickly look into Outlier dashboard, because this is something that I'm very very excited about Apple, because uh, probably few weeks ago, 3 4 weeks ago, I bought Apple calls, when it was around this fear reason, where you can see these red zone is, which tells that investors are very fearful. And I saw opportunity to get in for Apple, and I'm really really excited about, because it has started to turn around. And I personally feel, again, I am owning right now Apple options. And I personally feel that Apple is going to do really really good, because of this Apple event that's scheduled on September 12th. Because of this, you may see a run up in the Apple stock, and it may benefit some of these active investors that are looking to get into Apple. So that is something good. Another thing I want to just mention, which I saw this morning, I was not planning to cover on this uh, call today, but few days ago, all of these sectors were in red. What does that mean? We have this special indicator on Outlier. We call it recovery indicator, which is green, what you are seeing. What does that mean? After a big pullback, when I say big pullback, I'm talking about around 5 6 plus sectors getting impacted at the same time. So we had this downside indicator, which was depicted as in red color here, was active from last few weeks. And I talked about that in my last conversation here, and I talked about that how, you know, I am kind of actively looking for this event, this green event to trigger, means to change color from red to green, because now I feel much more confident that all of these sectors have started, are in recovery mode, which is good. So in our outlier dashboard, I mean, suddenly I start seeing lot of options, lot of stocks, you know, in this green zone, in this buy zone right now. And I mean, I'm just excited to just go through this list today to see, you know, where the opportunities are. And I'm also excited about you know, personally, on how my Apple options are gonna do in coming weeks. But thanks for watching, and talk to you in few days, I guess next Tuesday. Thank you.